Did we introduced ourselves in the last podcast, right?
I don't know. Did we?
Well,
yeah, we did because
the
Casey was
Predator.
here.
Yeah, the Predator one we introduced. We're like the stars of Predator, Matthew Vonta, Casey. Anyways, welcome to Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
I'm Corey Easley.
And we were talking about New Year's Eve and the party that didn't happen last night at my place, where we're podcasting from. So that debacle was, we had Wes and Martina who were going to go downtown and not go to the party, but I was like, oh, why don't you just stop by on your way in? And so they stopped by. I have my party set for 6 o'clock. You know, I tend to get these ideas that you see these movies where people have parties and everyone's just chilling, kind of bouncing from click to click, circle to circle. It's never ever happened that way before once in my life.
That's because you keep killing the party early.
Nah.
Yeah, it's your fault.
No. But,
yeah, it is, but...
Nah. And so I set the party at 6, and they ended up showing up at like 5:30. People who had told me that they weren't even going to show up anyways. And they show fucking early to the party.
Half an hour early
with a dog.
Supposed to be there.
And they were like, it's too cold to go downtown. You know, we don't want to fucking dick around with that. So they ended up staying, and then Casey and Allie showed up. And we had all this pizza and all this beer, and, you know, we were sitting there, we were talking, socializing for about 2 hours. And then they all left at the same time, and no one else was here. And I started to get drunk, kind of, and ate all this food, and I was super full, and I was getting tired. So,
and this is at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and everyone's leaving, so it kind of felt like
I was getting ready to be here like in like 20 minutes.
It felt like closure
because I was getting ready to text you when I saw your text. It's like, hey, we're getting ready to call it a night, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm off the hook. I'm just gonna go to bed then.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I felt.
That was what happened at my house because we're like
Dakota and Nicole too.
Did they not show?
No, he was like, oh, we're gonna get some food first. And I was like, oh, well, we're canceling. So there would have been another 5 people then with Greg, the 2 of you,
me and the old lady, Dakota
and Nicole.
Yeah, so it would have been good times, but you were too fucked up already.
And tired.
Piece of advice:
too
next
much
time,
food.
Let's have the party at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Wait another 2 hours.
Wait another 2 hours, and then just like don't have like meal food unless we're having a barbecue. But don't have meal food. Like, make it so everybody can, like, eat something if they want at home. But if they come and they don't eat, there's still food stuff to eat so they're not, like, starving.
Okay.
And start at 8. That way everybody gets done with everything they got to do. Unless it's, like I said, like a daytime barbecue thing where everybody's supposed to be overeating.
Yeah.
Because at 8 o'clock, everybody's like, okay, we're done eating, we're done fucking around, putting the kids to bed, all that stuff. And then at that point, people could show up, we party late, everybody bounces around, click-de-click, drinking, talking, having good times.
Right. So that's what happened with that debacle.
Was it fun anyway?
Yeah, no, it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine. You know, people were talking.
Oh, so what are we drinking here?
Yeah, well, you know, now that it's become part of the tradition to drink beers,
and/or beverages.
We've got the, oh shit, I thought I grabbed that.
Well, Matt is going to have a special treat tonight. I'm on the Guinness Black Lager St. James Gate Dublin, the cold brew with roasted barley.
Is it darker than your normal Guinness?
Can't see it, but...
Is it stronger?
It's lighter.
It's lighter.
It's like a lighter flavor. It's more on, more akin to like, I would say Smithwick's, which is another Guinness product. It's their Irish beer. It's their Irish. It's like an Irish stout. So it's not super heavy, but it's not real light.
Is that
either.
not an Irish stout?
I suppose.
What is Guinness? What is Guinness? Is not a stout.
Well, it is a stout.
Anyways, I'm drinking Leinenkugels. Leinenkugel. Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. It's their winter
Christmas beer.
Yeah, it's their winter. They put out a different brand like every 3 months.
Is that a micro? Or is that a...
Have you never had this before?
I've never heard of it.
You never heard of Lincoln? No, they got a bunch of different ones.
Do they?
Yeah,
So
since
it's like
1867.
a craft brew.
It's just a beer.
Just regular beer.
Yeah, it's just a
like
beer.
Coors Light.
Kind of tastes like coffee.
Interesting.
But then again, I think that dark beers
A lot
taste
of dark
like
beers
coffee.
do taste like coffee. They have that coffee flavor. And then if you put like the vanilla, that's like
It tastes a lot like coffee, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
And then we have a cocktail. This is my
green snot.
Cthulhu cocktail.
Is that how you say that?
Well,
Cthulhu?
now look, I've researched
I always
this
say Cthulhu.
like the Metallica song, Cthulhu. Like they made a song,
Did they?
and they spelled the name of the song as if it were to be phonetically spoken that correct way. But technically, unless we have H.P. Lovecraft here
In this house.
to
On
tell
this-
us
on this podcast.
to tell us how you say Cthulhu, Cthulhu looks right to me.
I'll go with that.
C, K, T, H.
Yeah,
You
'cause
know.
it always fucked me up because there's so many consonants in a row.
Right, and that's the thing, is it's described as very guttural when you're supposed to say it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and fucking spit and cough. Exactly. It's not going to happen. So Cthulhu, people say Cthulhu. Some people drop this letter and that letter when they say it.
Close enough.
But Cthulhu seems very average to me.
So what is this called? What are we calling this?
It's the Cthulhu cocktail because I had a Cthulhu-themed New Year's Eve party. Now,
That nobody showed up to.
preface this,
And was canceled early.
I had a Cthulhu Christmas party a couple of years back that I really wanted to make this cocktail for. And
I'm going to
didn't.
drink some right now.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, I've been waiting for this very moment.
Oh.
Because I like to do things on air, live, in your face.
I was able to find all the ingredients but one.
It's not as citrusy as I would have imagined it would be, but it is kind of has.
Well, it's got
So like
4
some-
juices:
I can taste some juices.
lime, orange, grapefruit, and pineapple.
Lime and grapefruit are taking over most of what's in there,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. The
I actually added more fruit juice than what it called for. Like, I mixed it all up, and I was like, I'm going to put a little more juice of each.
no, that's cool. That's it's not overpowering. It doesn't taste disgusting. Like some drinks you get, it's like whoa, too much liquor or too much juice.
All right, well, now let me knock your hair back here a little bit and tell you what it's made of. So, like, a couple years back when I was looking for this and looking for certain cocktails, I stumbled upon this Cthulhu cocktail that this group of people invented. They make cocktails. Cocktail Vultures is what the group is called. All right, so it's got, this is your base. Kraken rum, gold rum, and it's got 151 that I put in there. Bacardi.
Yeah.
But the recipe calls for Lemon Heart Demerara rum, which I couldn't find. But they had the 151 Bacardi, so I went with the 151, right?
Which also is not a strong flavor in the drink, which normally it is huge because 151 is extremely strong.
So your initial cocktail that you're going to pour over ice and mix it with, it's 1 ounce of each of those. So it's about 3 shots all told once all this is put together. It's about 3 shots worth. If you mix it all up and you take 3 shots of it and pour it over ice and mix it, that's about what it is. And now it's got Fallernum. I don't know if you know what that is.
No idea.
Yeah, do I? Maraschino liqueur, blue curacao, aromatic bitters,
Ugh.
Strega liqueur, and then on top of it, it says to put some of this brine, which is vodka mixed with sea salt. So,
Which I drank some of straight because this fucking asshole.
just to see what your face looked like when you fucking did it.
And it was a wretched flavor, by the way. It tastes like rubbing alcohol and ocean water.
And because I got the Smirnoff vodka 100 proof for my vodka mix, for my brine mix with that. And this is supposed to be, a Cthulhu themed cocktail that these guys went and made.
It was
And,
quite green.
The brine, it looks like seawater.
And it's like kind of snotty looking because you use the crushed ice.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine looks like kind of cloudy and snotty, which is kind of how I pictured the Cthulhu.
Very cloudy and snotty.
Cloudy
and then,
snotty.
like being at sea, you got the seawater kind of brine to salt it up a little bit on top. Just a little bit.
Interesting.
It kind of tastes like, I don't know. Your typical.
It like. I mean, it tastes.
I was waiting how long that was.
Yeah, well, some people don't want to be on the radio.
10 minutes.
If I were making this drink, but because I like when I have fun drinks like this is what I would consider like a fun cocktail.
Sure.
I would probably sweeten it up a little bit, but that's because people like sweet liquor.
How would you have sweetened it up?
I'm not sure. Because of the
answers, Mr. Fucking Know-It-All. Tell
you know
me
what
you would fucking do to change up.
I
You
would
got no fucking answers.
Anyways, smack a shit out of you. So
like sweeten it up with juice or sweeten it
I
up
would
with different
probably
alcohol?
maybe like a sweeter juice or maybe an orange liqueur instead of something else.
Well, it's not the maraschino liqueur.
Right, which you would think would be sweeter than maybe it is. But, like I said, not knowing what some of those things are, I would probably have to taste each of the unknown liqueurs and see which one's sweeter. But it was also probably designed by these guys. What was the name of their site again?
Vultures?
Cocktail Vultures. It was designed by these guys for a certain look because they wanted it to look a certain way.
Slimy green,
cloudy when you have it mixed, and then have maybe the salty flavor. The sea salt and vodka was purposeful to kind of bring it down because the bitters are in there. Which, like I said, it gives it an interesting flavor, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the drink the way it is. But I may have sweetened it up a little bit.
All right, we're trying the maraschino liqueur by itself.
Which smells like maraschino cherries.
It smells very much like... Very sweet. It's only 25% alcohol by volume.
Very sweet, but it's undertone sweet. It's not like a...
Hit you in the face?
It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not super sweet. It's not like drinking fucking syrup or anything.
No.
But it has a sweet undertone. And not a bad flavor. It's not real bitter, not real sharp.
Let's, before we dive into the meat and bones of this, I can't fucking read for shit anymore.
That's because you're gay. Gay people have bad eyesight.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Never mind. I was gonna read the little write-up that these guys did. Okay. Since the beginning of our association in the Cocktail Lab, we have discussed our mutual desire to create a libation evoking the essence of the slumbering horror that is Cthulhu, the cosmic old one first brought to the consciousness of man by New England author Howard Phillips Lovecraft. But it couldn't happen until the stars were right and we had received the elder sign. The time has come. The Cocktail Vultures have been pleasing your palate for a while now, but all is not fun and games here at the lab. Last night we were possessed with an irresistible frenzy to mix well, and to taste a drink both powerful and beguiling. We have found it. Then it goes on to talk about the short story. Let's see. Here we go. The maraschino liqueur adds a whiff of dusty, forbidden tomes. To facilitate disturbing dreams, we included Strega, the ultimate witch liqueur, from a site in Italy originally known as Malevento, the place of evil events. The blue curacao is essential. Do not even consider replacing it, or the gods may be disturbed and awakened prematurely. When you look at the finished result of our mixology, you'll understand why you must adhere to the recipe. Finally, we had to add the madness from the sea, and so a sprinkling of brine is called for in the presentation of the drink. Yeah.
So they put thought into everything they put in it, which...
Right.
It's more meaningful.
I forgot to mention, we based the drink on the tropical grogs of those climes with plenty of fresh citrus and 3 kinds of decadent rum. Its structure is also a nod to Don the Beachcomber's original Zombie, a name that conjures visions of helpless humans trapped in a spell of forgetfulness and servitude.
Which I would imagine if you drank too much of this would put you in that state.
Zombie like.
A zombie like.
Be careful. We recommend one cocktail per guest. One doesn't summon Cthulhu lightly, and one treats him with respect but pays the price.
We just have to summon him from the porcelain sea.
Right. Ignore that faint chanting you think you hear. We're sure those are not the strains of pagan music beginning to grow louder. Sip as your mind begins to be swayed by the great god Cthulhu, who is rumored to whisper in his sleep. So yeah. I kind of thought it was going to be a little bit stronger when I first had it.
Yeah. And you mixed it by the numbers.
By the numbers.
Excellent.
Well, so I bought a little mixing glass, glass.
Mm-hmm. A measuring glass.
And it's got on all three sides, it's got ounces, teaspoons, tablespoons.
Right.
So that I could, because this recipe calls for ounces. So I bought something that said ounces on it. Now, like, it would call for 3/4 of an ounce. So I would have to...
Like eyeball?
I would have to eyeball it. So I made the initial recipe, and then I times it by 5, which is the max on there. So like it said, 1 ounce of rum, the max on the glass was 5 ounces. So I just did 5 to fill up the drink container, faster, so that I could just kind of pour however much for people.
Sure.
So yeah, but one of the ingredients, the Strega, asked for 1/8 of a teaspoon.
You didn't have a teaspoon that went down that far?
Well, I mean, how do you measure 1/8 of a teaspoon? The minimum line on my glass was 3 teaspoons.
You would have to use a 1/8 teaspoon measure.
Do they have one of those?
Yes, they do.
Well,
What
I did was I just did like a little quick dip.
That's usually what I do. If it calls for like the little tiniest bit of something, and I don't have the measurement.
Right, and the aromatic bitters, it said 2 dashes. So it's like, what's the difference between a dash and 1/8 of a teaspoon? It's probably the same measurement.
Probably. It's like just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So
yeah, most of the time when you use bitters, you're using very, very little because they're so strong anyway.
It smelled like Jägermeister or black licorice, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, what brand of bitters was it? Did it just say?
Well, on the recipe it said Bitter Truth, but what I got is the same stuff that at Walmart that I ended up buying at Total Wine. Mm-hmm. It's wrapped in paper like a fucking Liam Perrins Worcestershire sauce type thing.
Right.
It basically looked like a Liam Perrins Worcestershire sauce bottle, but it's miniaturized.
Like super low alcohol content anyway.
Oh, there's alcohol in it?
If any. I mean,
okay.
it's a very, very low. No, but it's bitters. It's not really designed to be drank. It's like a little...
Right, the kind of...
little garnish.
Right. There's plenty... And you know what? And as of now, my bar is fully stocked with all the kinds of alcohol you could possibly want.
Because you had to buy all this stuff for different drinks. Fantastic work.
Oh my god, you wouldn't even believe, dude.
I would believe. I do believe. I believe I'll have another drink.
Another one of these?
Mm-mm. If I have another one of these, I'll have to spend the night.
Sure. Oh, you'll have another sip out of the current glass.
No, I will have another taste of my beverage.
So what we did was I put it in the blender and crushed it up with the ice and topped it over ice balls.
2 ice balls.
2 ice balls. 2 balls of ice.
2 balls of ice. I like these. I really wanted to buy the
wobbly glasses or the ball mold?
The ball mold. The wobbly glasses are cool because I like to drink scotch for varieties. I'm not a snob or anything, but I enjoy scotch, whiskey, brandy.
That's what sold it for me. Is the picture showed, like a glass with ice balls. You pour your whiskey over or whatever.
Sure.
To be classy.
Yeah, it looks neat. It looks like a neat drink.
It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun, and that's the point.
Absolutely. Are you cold?
No, but
you gonna put your vest on?
I need my armor.
You need your armor?
I need my armor if I'm working.
You fucking douche armor?
This is not douche armor. It's got pockets on the inside that I can stash contraband.
Absolutely. You're the only person I know that as an adult wears a vest.
As an adult? Well, this was made for an adult. I did not buy it. They don't make this for kids.
I don't know. I'm just saying, as an adult, which you are, I would probably classify you as an adult on most purposes.
Trust me, the way I dress has been...
The same since you were in high school.
No, not at all. Not
pretty
one bit.
fucking
No, I
close,
wore
yeah.
pants in high school.
Yeah, and wrestling shoes.
What did I do that once?
For like a whole semester.
No, I only wore the
Did you?
wrestling shoes like once.
What did you wear most of the other times, like Vans or...
Boots.
Did you wear boots?
Yeah, because they called me Boots.
Who did?
Uh,
Not this guy.
no, you didn't call me Boots. My English class.
Oh, okay.
They call me Boots
Those
because I
guys
wore
were
boots.
fucking douches.
Like Cody Lee,
Well, he's
Kyle
always been-
McPartland,
Oh, you remember a lot of names I don't.
Alan Reisel.
Don't know, you got me, bro.
Yeah, those three.
Yeah, were they douchey?
Justin Brown.
Justin Brown. I know that name for some reason.
Wow, you don't remember anybody from high school
No, I do. I remember a lot of people. In fact, I went to the 10-year class reunion.
that I didn't go to. It was not a
Exactly.
good time for me, and I really, really look forward to that based on all the movies I've seen.
It was kind of funny because it was entertaining, but lame at the same time.
No doubt.
Because it was at the school.
Yeah, why wouldn't you wanna? Why like where
I
was
don't know.
where was it at in the school in the cafeteria?
It was
the
literally, it
gym
was in the fucking cafeteria.
with the fucking cafeteria tables.
Yes, at the cafeteria tables, and not only that, but
They
and,
gave
and
me
this
the hamburger, the tray with fries.
on Carla's behalf.
Right. Who set it up?
She put it together. Her mom and I believe her dad both work at the school.
I don't think her dad does, but maybe.
I'm not positive, but
I know her mom's a teacher for sure.
yeah, her mom teaches in the culinary arts
Okay.
department, and they had the students, the culinary arts department, make the food. So the money that we paid for our dinner was made by the students,
Okay.
which it was interesting. Like none of it was like over the top, really awesome, but it was kind of cool to see that I don't know they were learning something. And
What exactly did they make?
it was all Hawaiian, like barbecue, and because her family's Hawaiian.
Yeah, they're Hawaiian.
I think
No, they're Hawaiian.
they're Hawaiian.
Hawaiian Mormons.
Hawaiian Mormons. That's a weird mix.
Not really, because
Right, a lot
BYU is in Hawaii.
No, it's not.
No, BYU is in Hawaii, Idaho, and Utah.
Oh, they have 3 schools.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I thought they just had the one in Idaho.
Mm-mm.
Or Salt Lake.
Yeah, you mean Utah.
Utah, yeah. Whatever. There's Mormons.
Mormons are general.
Mormons are
they
all
have
from
one
Idaho.
here.
Oh, I'm telling you. The number of Mormons I run into on a regular basis is actually pretty fucking astounding.
No, I really don't think it is, because I think everyone runs into Mormons and everyone knows Mormons, because it's practically Mormon Central here in Reno.
Which is, you know what's funny? Historically, they wanted the entire state of Nevada to be part of
The Mormon.
the Mormon state that they were trying to put together back in the early
late 1800s?
in the late 1800s when they were actually it was just before Nevada got statehood.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to
Halloween.
get it
18th.
incorporated into their own because they had Utah and they wanted Nevada, Idaho, California. They wanted like that whole fucking last part of the state, the United States, to be part of their Mormon
What,
state.
the Lower West Side?
I don't know.
Lower West Corner?
And they had a name for it, and I can't recall it at this time.
Pangea?
Pan-Mormonism. No, it was actually kind of a cool name, but they didn't.
They were like, no.
Didn't click. They're like, yeah, we're not going to give all that to you.
Yeah, we've got Virginia
not gonna
City
work.
where we're whoring and boozing and gambling.
Yeah, that's not going to work for us. And
we
that was
got
one of the
going
biggest
on in
biggest
Reno,
problems was the Mormons were having to fight with
The sinners?
with the sinners about the shit we were doing in their proposed state.
Like, hey, cut out the debauchery, and we're like, fuck you. Fair enough.
Want a drink?
Yeah, fair enough. We're going back to Utah, but we're gonna stay here unofficially. Yeah.
Unofficially, in an unofficial capacity.
What were we talking about before the Mormon shit? Oh, the reunion.
The class reunion.
And what did we
And
talk
how
about the reunion? Oh, because of the way I dress.
Because of the way you dress. Yeah, that's how we backtrack to all that.
Right. Trust me, no.
But normally with a vest. You wore a vest in high school.
No, I never wore a vest in high school.
You didn't?
Nuh-uh.
Well, that was right after then.
I can tell you exactly when I started wearing a vest.
When did you officially become a douche?
It's not douchey. I had like a jean jacket that came from like a Marble Points thing.
Okay. I used to have Marlboro and Winston, or not Winston, Camel stuff because my dad smoked, or my stepdad smoked Camel. So.
Right. So I had like a jean jacket that I got from some family member, and I never ever used it. And it was in 2005, 2006, 2007. And like I was like, okay, I'll use this jean jacket for like a movie trailer, you know. And I cut the sleeves off, and that's when I started wearing it.
You made your first one.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
And I wore that thing for 3 years, 4 years.
Kind of like a Jedi makes his own first lightsaber.
And then I threw it into the ocean in Santa Cruz.
Why?
Because it's like, okay, I'm wearing this too much. I'm going to get rid of it. It's symbolic. It's in the ocean. I tossed it into the ocean.
So you littered in the ocean.
That's right. Like everyone else. It's not like I live on the coast where I do it every day like all those assholes do. I did it once in my life.
One time.
And then I got another vest for Patriot Zombie. We took a military fatigue one and cut the sleeves off of that for my character in that movie. I never wore that thing outside of the costume, but I did end up getting another. Oh God, maybe I didn't. I really don't remember when I got another jean jacket until I found one here when I moved back from Denver. And I started wearing that one, and I think I still have it. And I dyed it red. For a costume. And then I bought another one that was too big, and I dyed that green for St. Patrick's Day. And then I got one in Vegas. First time I went to Vegas. I just recently retired that one because I bought this one.
Well, it looks nice. It's very classy.
It is classy.
It's not.
But then I had one in between this one and the last one.
Did you have a leather one too?
No, I never had a leather one.
I thought I saw you wearing a leather one the other day.
But I did have one in between this one and the last one that I just retired that was a little bit smaller because they don't really make my size a Hot Topic for these vests.
Yeah, the Hot Topic is either for really big fat kids or.
But they don't. I don't even think it's for them anymore.
Probably not.
So.
Well, they put lights in the fucking place, so it's not worth a shit anymore.
Lights.
Yeah, remember back in the day, you used to go to Hot Topic and it was all dark in there.
Spencer's was always dark.
Spencer's was always dark, but Hot Topic was usually relatively dark. It was kind of like a dark brooding type place.
I don't remember Hot Topic being dark. In fact,
it was dark-ish, not like goth dark, but it was darker.
All I remember is Hot Topic being exactly the same way it is right now.
It's not exactly the same way it is now because I worked there, or not at the store, but I worked at the mall when they put the lights in. And they lit that fucker up, or they turned the lights up or something, but there's an awful lot of lights in there now that weren't in there before.
There are lights, considering the thing's fucking black, wall to wall.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes, thing, floor, everything's black. So it's kind of like there's only light on the ceiling.
Well, that's where the light comes from in most places.
Yeah, but I mean,
Just saying.
It doesn't bounce off of anything. So,
let's talk about something meaningful. Or somewhat meaningful.
We're only half an hour in. Why start now?
Whatever. You're the host.
Okay.
I just come here to drink your alcohol.
So we finally, which we do every time. What episode is this?
I stopped counting, but I think it's
104.
104.
I think it's 104. Welcome, people, to 104. We've only got 96 more to go. You know what, Corey?
Yes, sir.
Today is the 1st of January.
Today is
New Year's Day.
Jan 1, 1116.
1116. Mark it on your calendars. Today is 1116.
1116.
Mark it
people
down.
Don't have to mark it on their calendar because it's already marked on the calendar.
Right. It's cross it off, people.
And it's almost over.
There's no doubt when you're listening to this, it'll either be way fucking past or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. If it ever gets put online.
If it ever gets put online. I'm going to try and get it online. Eventually.
That sounds like a lofty goal.
Maybe today. Because I never put these things on right away.
I noticed that. It's always like a week later.
Well, it would be
Which is fine. Which is fine. I'm
It
not
would be
bitching.
so much easier if it were easier.
A lot of things would be easier
If they were easier.
if they were easier.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
All right, so let's talk about the big subject.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. So we talk about movies on this podcast from time to time.
I would say 98% of the time we talk about
If
movies.
not almost exclusively.
About movies.
Right. So,
However, sometimes we ramble.
this year was full of disappointing money grab sequels to franchises that didn't really need any
Franchises
sequels.
should have died.
Didn't need the previous sequels that were made for them.
True. Are you thinking of anything in particular?
Well, let's talk about Terminator Genesis.
I agree.
Did
As
not
much-
need 4,
No.
did not need 3.
No, I think Salvation was. I like Salvation.
It's
but-
aged. It ages. It was not good when it first came out.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's watchable now.
I guess you could take that perspective on it. Like, I was excited to have something else added to it.
Well, like, you know, they got Christian Bale to play fucking John Connor, you know, a big name star.
Which is not normally how it's been done.
Absolutely not. It's like they got Christian Bale to be in Terminator 4.
That guy must have been desperate.
Right, it seemed like, how much money did they throw at this guy?
I think he was tired of being Batman.
He hadn't even been done. He was only Batman once at that
After
point.
the first one, yeah. After one's probably playing.
Right, after Batman Begins hit it big, he fucking did Terminator Salvation.
Yeah. So
And
we had
And it's not even about John Connor. It's about fucking Marcus. Is it Marcus? Marcus, I'm a serial killer going to prison to die, wind up in a robot's body fucking 50 years down the line, or whatever it was.
That was that the next one?
What? That was Salvation.
Was it Salvation?
Yeah.
It had the robot thing, and then
Well, he was
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a biomechanical robot.
well, he had a real brain.
No, yeah,
He
real
had a
brain, real heart.
real heart. The
Or
rest
some
of him
kind
was
of
robotic.
created heart, I think, maybe.
Maybe that was, yeah. But he was more
No, he was a machine
Yeah.
fused with human life.
sure.
A cyborg.
Cyborg was probably more correct.
Right, which is what they call Terminators anyways. Cybernetic
Organism.
with human tissue on the outside.
Yeah,
Human
metal
exoskeleton.
endoskeleton.
Endoskeleton
Endoskeleton.
with human flesh
Living flesh.
over.
Yeah.
Which is how Arnold Schwarzenegger gets old in the new one.
Which I thought was really cool how they played that out.
That's the only way to do it.
was-
Like, why is he so old?
He's not old
I will see
anymore.
you guys in the future. The long way.
The long way.
I'm going the long way.
When she eats the corn and the cobs a long way.
So
There's only a couple people in the world that
So
will get that.
Terminator 5 came out this year. And it was basically what you would call a fan film.
Absolutely.
Written by the guy who wrote, like, Drive Angry. I think he wrote Jason X.
Over the top grab for continuing the story. They took everything.
Hold on a second. Keep talking.
They took everything we know about the franchise and the universe, and they flip it on its head so that we can basically start over. Spoiler alert! If we have to fucking say that on a movie that's came out at the beginning of the year, but
Are we talking about Terminator?
yeah, we're still talking about Terminator. It was over the top. They take the whole thing and flip it on its head,
I
so
will
they could
say,
start over. And I think the way they did the story
No, there's
was
not going to be another
fun.
one, though. There's not going to be another
Oh,
one.
and that's fine. They killed the series in a believable way.
Well, let's say, okay, look. Jay Courtney, the guy that plays Kyle Reese, is not the most charismatic of actors. They brought him to play opposite fucking Bruce Willis in Die Hard fucking whatever number it was, 5.
Die Hard 50.
You know, he's not very charismatic. And they got him to play Kyle Reese, who was played by Michael Biehn, in a movie that seemed very fucking real.
You know, and
Gritty, fucking dirty, fucking Terminator. Same with Emilia Clarke, who they brought in to play Sarah Connor. Once again, way too clean. Way too clean, these two actors, to play two characters that were fucking dirty and real. Because Emilia Clarke played Sarah Connor at the same age that What's-Her-Face played her in the first Terminator.
Right.
But she looks fucking like 10 years older in that first Terminator.
Absolutely.
And Emilia Clarke looks 10 years younger.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference.
And I think the way they played Kyle Reese in Genesis...
The young kid. No. Yeah, Genesis.
Wrong.
Sorry. You think so?
The new movie, wrong.
Way wrong.
Because Kyle Reese is a hardened battle veteran. I mean, he's been on the front line. They show him running around in Terminator 1, you know, blasting fucking robots, you know, grabs the plasma rifle, fucking, you know what I mean? Just like, fucking killing these guys.
He's seen some shit.
He's hardcore.
He's got PTSD in the movie.
Absolutely. He's like waking up in dreams, and he's seeing these flashbacks from where he's been. He thinks the car's on fire, and there's fucking, you know, robots everywhere. The new Kyle Reese is a pussy. I'm going to say it right now. He's a pussy.
And there's like, they're trying to build like a fake sexual tension between these two because she knows she's supposed to bang him and make John Connor, which she does not bang him in this movie.
And he also doesn't know that until later in the movie. Not too long.
And fucking the Terminator gets all kind of jealous and fucking protective of Sarah Connor.
Yeah, start acting like a dad. I like the smile they did with... She's trying to teach him how to be more personable, more human. And he looks at the guy and he smiles, and it's like this really cheesy fucking Arnold. Kind of like the one you're doing right now. It's like...
I'm trying to think of it and put it on my face. Just watch that. Because I can't remember. Doesn't he try to smile in...
It just looks scary.
Was it that movie?
Yes.
He didn't try to smile in another one? Terminator 3?
I don't remember that.
I think he tries to smile in Terminator 3
He may have.
too. In Terminator 2, oh my god. Look, I don't mind. I like watching 3. I like watching 4 now.
Talk to the hand.
But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like I don't know why I would ever watch those ever again. 1 and 2, you can stop right there.
Absolutely.
You won't.
No. I was excited for 3 because I loved 1 and 2 so much.
Right, and you know what? I was waiting, like, fucking, he made Sixth Day, he made Collateral Damage, he made End of Days. When's he gonna stop dicking around? Make Terminator 3 already. And it was the last one he made before going to Office. He was in Around the World in 80 Days in a guest role, the cameo appearance, but for the most part, that was his last one before going to become the governor.
The governor.
Alright, so we gotta shoot through to the real problem of the matter. So then there was also Jurassic World.
I saw that, will admit I saw it at the drive-in movie theater because I don't like paying full price for movies I'm not sure about.
I saw both Terminator and Jurassic World in theaters.
I saw Terminator in theater.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Genesis in theater.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic World, it was a lot like the rest of the Jurassic Park movies, in my opinion, except they tried to add like this extra action adventure touch on the end, where they have this guy that's trying to like, you know, weaponize the raptors, and he's kind of an asshole, and then he ends up getting killed because of it.
Oh, who are we talking about? Like Vincent D'Onofrio's character?
Yeah.
Like he's a military dude.
Yeah, he's their...
He's like a military contractor.
Yeah, he's like their private security contractor.
Because he hires out Chris, what's his face? And he's like an ex-Navy dude.
Yeah, and he's the one that trains
the Raptors.
Trains the Raptors. Which I thought was an interesting concept.
It's a great concept, but
because
you know what?
Do it with other animals.
This movie is the biggest fucking standout of movies that do this for sequels. The bad guy becomes the good guy. Every single movie sequel, the bad guy becomes the good guy. The hero comes along,
Arnold
can't stop cannot stop the current bad guy, and so but like, here's a great idea. What if they go to the villain from the first movie and he helps the good guys out? What a twist!
What a twist! Like Terminator 2.
Every movie, Jurassic World, the Raptors are helping them fight this big dinosaur thing that they made. And you know what?
The Raptors were
big
the number
surprise,
one
they took a T-Rex and they took the Raptors and they made a fucking super dinosaur. And you know what? Not only did the Raptors help, they're like, we need more help. We'll go get the T-Rex. And he comes and he helps them fight the fucking thing. Like, they're all buddies.
Yeah, like they didn't just try to fucking eat everybody before that happened.
Or they wouldn't still. Why wouldn't they all just try to eat the humans and then fuck off on their own little thing?
That's, if I was a dinosaur, that's what I would have done.
They're like...
What's with the hat? What's with the hat?
My hat?
Yeah. Nobody cares.
No.
Dotson! Dotson! We got Dotson here!
We got Dotson here. Fuck. But yeah. You know, I watched Jurassic World today. I watched it today. And it disgusts me to see that these fucking... The T-Rex?
I thought that was far-fetched.
And you know what? And I also mentioned this today.
Because if I was the Raptors, I would have just fucked off.
From the beginning. When they
that
took him
big
out.
ass raptor came over. Yeah.
And you know what? The dinosaur in Jurassic Park 3 was much bigger than the new dinosaur they made for Jurassic Park 4, Jurassic World.
I agree.
It was much bigger fighting that T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
This one was nothing.
It's true.
And on top of that, these dinosaurs are not bulletproof. They fucking unloaded on this fucking Indominus Rex.
Right.
It would have died.
Absolutely.
It's not fucking bulletproof.
Absolutely.
They shot it up with a fucking bazooka.
Yeah.
It fell over. It got back up again.
I don't think so. I'm not a fucking botanist or anything.
It's like it had a force field. And it kind of got jolted a little bit.
So who else do we have come out this year?
I think those are the two
main. Those are the major sequel, like killer sequels.
Wait, what? Were there any other sequels?
I'm trying to.
Let's see here.
I'm trying to think sequel wise. I mean, I saw a lot of movies this year, but
sequels of 2015. Let's Google that.
Google it up.
I mean, what is my movie production company called?
Sequels.
Sequel production.
That's we're covering sequels today.
Sequel movies 2015.
Did we have
fucking James Bond?
Well, yeah,
Spectre.
Which I agree. At some point, it was kind of a letdown.
It was a little bit of a letdown. You know what the biggest letdown was? That the movie was so fucking long and kind of meandered, and it felt like it was just a throwback to the other ones, which is not going to be the first time that we're going to bring this concept up. Hunger Games, you can't really talk about because it was completing a trilogy of books. But they split that last one up into two movies. I didn't watch the last one. I haven't seen the last one or this one.
I haven't seen the newest one. I did see the last one.
Maze Runner.
Video when it came out. I didn't see any of the Maze Runners.
Mm-hmm. Magic Mike. Triple X.
Now that.
Double X.
It was Double X, yeah.
Triple X. Vin Diesel was in it.
He was not.
And Ice Cube. Magic Mike. Triple X.
It was,
now look, fucking Magic Mike. I liked that first movie.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw the first movie. And the reason why I watched the first movie is because it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who is a very revered, very artsy kind of independent film director who makes these great movies. So I knew going into it that it was more than just eye candy for women. And
sure.
It was well directed. It was a good movie. It was watchable. Story. It was absolutely watchable. Magic Mike XXL, not directed by the same guy, and basically all it is eye candy for women.
Well, it took something that worked. It took something that worked and made money, and made another one.
It was stupid.
It had Channing Tatum in it.
It had Channing Tatum in it. You know, I like
Channing Tatum. I love Channing Tatum.
And we will talk about Channing Tatum again.
Today,
later on. But that was kind of one. But really, I was more along the lines of thinking of Long Vacation.
I didn't get a chance to get at that one yet.
Saw Vacation. It was Mission Impossible was too. It was super long. It did not need to be super long because I really liked the last one. Ted 2.
Didn't get that one.
God, there are a lot of Furious.
I did see the Fast and Furious 7.
God, there was a lot of fucking sequels.
Which I will say that when I saw Fast and Furious 7, the
Taken 3? Was there a Taken 3?
Yeah, I haven't watched that one either.
Hot Tub Time Machine 2?
Didn't see that one either.
I saw Hot
The
Tub.
first one.
Yeah, I saw 2. Me and Rose went and saw it. Furious, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious 7, I thought... Again, it's over the top. Because every time they do another one, they have to go further.
They don't even really go further either.
They just keep doing the same thing.
And they show the big scenes in the trailer.
Yeah, which fucking pisses me off. I'll go back to Terminator Genesis with this one.
They
give up the fucking bad guy
John Connor.
in the trailer. The biggest fucking turnaround you have, where, spoiler alert, John Connor's the fucking bad guy. The old John Connor is the bad guy. You show it in the trailer. That happens fucking hour into the movie.
Halfway through the movie. After time traveling twice
finally get to see John Connor be like, Skynet-y and fucking robotic and weird.
And that was the biggest thing. Also in that fucking movie, right at the beginning, you see him get fucking taken by the stupid Doctor Who guy.
Mm-hmm. The Doctor Who guy!
Matt Smith, I know who it is, but I didn't watch it out of respect. Fucking stupid Doctor Who. No, you see him get taken, and it's like... It's like they... It looks like it was a fan-made film by someone who didn't respect what the films were about. Every single movie is about John Connor being the savior.
Key to resistance.
The savior to all these people.
Absolutely.
And they make him the bad guy.
Military leader.
They fucking make him the bad guy.
Which I think is bullshit, in my opinion.
Super bullshit. They turn him into the bad Terminator.
Yep.
Now,
I would have appreciated, even more so, if in the disrupted time travel sequence, when they go back to 1985, before John Connor's born, and Kyle Reese gets there, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking T-1000.
And it's him?
Well,
John Connor?
in the movie, the T-1000 is this Asian guy.
It's an Asian cop.
And in the 80s, which I'm not saying it didn't happen, it couldn't happen, but...
There's a big mystery in that movie of, like, we also sent another Terminator back to kill Sarah Connor when she was a little girl.
Yeah, that's...
They never said who sent that Terminator back to kill her as a baby or as a little girl.
Right.
They never once... Like, you could have fucking taken that out of the movie. But, I mean, I guess they needed that so that you can see why he was there.
I mean, it's
but they never once explained it.
Multiple time disruptions in the movie.
It's like
that's what it's about.
It's like they just threw shit in there because they had no answers. And they're like, we'll fix it later.
We'll fix it later.
They're constantly sending things.
What's the guy's name that plays the T-1000 in 2?
Patrick? I think it's Patrick.
Something. Anyway. He's done a lot of...
Doggett from X-Files.
He's done a lot of TV since then. He's a lot larger than he used to be. I'm not saying he's fat, but
he's a bigger guy now.
He's a bigger guy.
Like if you watch Johnny Cash, like Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line, he played his dad in that.
He's
older.
Scorpion. He's on the TV show Scorpion right now. Which
He's put on a little bit of weight.
Series. He's put on quite a bit of weight.
Patrick, what's his name? Patrick?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Patrick.
His name is Patrick. We'll just go with that.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Patrick Jane. Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart played the T-1000.
Patrick Stewart's the T-1000 in Terminator.
He's put on some weight.
He's put on
fucking
some weight.
1990.
But I would have appreciated at least... You shut the fuck up for a second. This guy's a fucking drunkard. Guess we could just go live like your fat alcoholic mother.
You would appreciate if fucking Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. I would have appreciated Patrick Stewart as the T-1000. Now I'm gonna look it up so we can fucking actually be correct.
It's Patrick.
Patrick what? Patrick Asada? Electric?
Patrick Reilsberger.
Patrick Reilsberger, starring Patrick Reilsberger as the T-1000.
Oh, fuck.
I think Patrick Reilsberger has a little too much emotion for the T-1000's part. The Black might be able to pull it off, though. And once again, I fucking killed Matt.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck is his name? You don't have it yet? Oh,
well, I'm not on your Wi-Fi, dickface.
Oh, shit, man.
Robert Patrick.
That's
Patrick's his last fucking name.
I knew Patrick was in there. I didn't say it was his first name, dude.
So Robert Patrick.
You would appreciate it.
If you would have said Robert, I would be like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is the T-1000.
That's the T-1000.
So what would you appreciate?
I would have appreciated at least some CG effort to make the T-1000. Not the entire thing. What I'm saying is Robert Patrick is the T-1000. I would have appreciated them
a nod.
Not just making him some fucking oddball Asian guy we've never seen. It's like he comes in. It's like, okay, this is 1980s Los Angeles.
But he looks like 1990 Robert Patrick, but with an Asian actor playing the role.
Yeah, basically.
Because he's doing the kind of stern face, kind of fucking stiff-handed running, cop uniform.
Absolutely.
Everything that Robert Patrick was in Terminator 2, he was in Terminator 1 in that version. Just like Sarah Connor was Terminator 2 Sarah Connor in 1985.
Yes.
Alright, anyways. We've talked about everything but
the last and largest franchise
stupid bullshit. Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Destruction of a franchise. I mean, maybe not destruction, but I will...
Destroyed any kind of anything for me.
It destroyed my faith that the new sequels would have been worth watching. Not to say I'm not going to see them, because I am excited to see more Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go. I'm not excited to see more, but I'll see them because...
Their Star Wars movies are going to be new movies when they come out.
I saw the other ones.
Now, I have read that Episode 8 will be done by a different director, unconfirmed.
Well, I mean...
But I think J.J. Abrams did a job that he was qualified to do.
Right, he was given the script. He made the script.
Absolutely. He didn't write the movie. We have to remember that when we talk about how fucked up this movie is.
Now, who wrote the movie was Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Well, he's a fucking douchebag then, because he took a story that had meaning. The original trilogy, the only trilogy in the Star Wars universe.
No, check this out.
That matters.
I like the prequels better than I like The Force Awakens.
Absolutely, because they've taken the prequels, they build up the universe. They take everything we don't know about what happened before Luke Skywalker, and they build it. They bring in
all new.
They bring in Qui-Gon.
George Lucas said this. He's like, at least when I made my movies, they were original. When they made this new one, it was like they remade Star Wars, New Hope.
They ripped off A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, and they might as well put fucking Jar Jar Binks in.
Empire Strikes Back.
They might as well have made Kylo Ren Jar Jar Binks.
Star Wars, they took Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and made one movie.
And Star Trek
2
Into Darkness
was fucking Wrath of Khan.
But they took that concept and they They put it in the Star, the Star Killer base, which is a fucking overgrown Death Star.
Yeah, it's super big and super easier to destroy. Super easier to destroy. Now look, there was this article that I posted, that someone else fucking posted. I shared it, and it was like 40 things wrong with the new Star Wars.
Absolutely.
And I agree with every single one of them. And check this out. At the end of Return of the Jedi, if I am not mistaken, they destroy the Empire. They ended it. The good guys won.
Yes.
Why are they still in hiding, fighting the same battle that they won at the end of Jedi?
30 years later.
30 years later.
Good question.
And all we get is that little thing saying Luke Skywalker is disappeared, and they send a new... Now, look, okay. I get really upset here. These little fucking dialogues that they have at the beginning of each of these movies are kind of to try and fill in the gap without having to do any screen time for it.
Right.
What they said at the beginning of Force Awakens did not need to be said because we see it. Because they tell us how much of a great fucking pilot this Han Solo wannabe is the entire time in the movie.
Yes.
He's a great pilot. He's the best pilot in the fucking universe.
Right.
And he is a Han Solo wannabe.
Absolutely.
The first time I saw him, he's got like his own leather jacket thing, which coincidentally goes to another dude eventually. But I was like, that is Han Solo. That is a Han Solo carbon copy.
Agreed.
And he's got his own little robot.
Yep. BB-8. It's a cute little bastard, but...
And the
highly
chick,
unnecessary.
And the chick is on a desert planet, just like Luke.
Which is not the same desert planet that Luke was from.
Yeah, it's not Tatooine.
It's
a planet we've never heard of. Jakku, which is fine. It's fine that we've never heard of it.
Fine. There's probably a billion planets.
But it's like
they're the
Jakku,
same.
Tatooine.
Same thing.
She's most likely Luke Skywalker's kid.
We would probably guess something like that.
Right. So if she turns out to not be Luke Skywalker's kid, that means there's another Jedi that's alive out there somewhere that had this child. But we've been told all
not
Jedi
necessarily,
are dead.
Because you don't have to be born to a Jedi family to be Force sensitive.
No, you just have to be Jesus.
That can happen too.
Anakin Skywalker was Jesus.
He was Jesus.
Because she said that
it was a virgin. It was a virgin birth.
She didn't say she was a virgin. She just said there was no dad. She said there was
no dad, but it was an implied virgin birth.
Right. She's like, I haven't been with anyone in like 9 months by the time he was born. I mean, like, it wasn't, no one did me the day before, so we're good.
We're good.
There's no one. There's no dad.
It's not on the record.
Right.
So when I fill out the assistance paperwork to get my
right there,
to get my state approved assistance, just mark unknown.
Jesus.
Anakin was Jesus.
Anakin was Jesus in that
and he done fucked it up.
Trilogy, which I guess is okay. Like if we took Jesus and made him the bad guy, it's kind of the reverse concept that I was talking about. Where you take the bad guy and make him the good guy.
Yeah, and then it was a sequel, so there you go. A sequel without a prequel at the time.
And like. Fucking everything about that Star Wars movie was so boring.
It was refried.
The
whole thing was
super bored the entire time. I was like, it's cool action sequences that I've seen before. I've seen fighter jets fly around. I've seen them shoot things. I've seen guys run around. I've seen guys fight. I've seen blasters go off. I've seen all this before. I don't really need to see it again.
They didn't give us anything that was worth having.
Nothing solid. Nothing
they
solid.
Didn't say anything that was worth having.
And when I read that article about these 40 things that were wrong with it, reading that, it's like, that's probably why my mind didn't catch on. I had nothing to stimulate it, and I'm a smart guy.
Absolutely.
I like to think of myself as a smart guy.
Movies, try to figure stuff out. And what pissed me off, I'm sitting in the theater.
Like, what's the point of buying a $30 steak if it's got no flavor to it?
Absolutely. It could be the best fucking, most tender, perfectly cooked steak, but if it's got no flavor, it's bullshit.
Now,
what pissed me off, among other things,
you were here.
Opening night.
You stopped by.
I stopped by. I had a tamale and a shot.
A shot of tamale.
Shot of tamales. And that was first night of the movie. We had 7:30 showing in 3D at the Galaxy IMAX.
Right. Paid out the ass.
Actually, that was a Christmas treat of Black Trick.
Okay,
He
he
sent
paid
Mama
for it.
and I to the movies for. He bought the tickets for us and everything. So, shout out to Patrick. Anyway, so we see this movie. Everybody's super excited. First 20 minutes of the movie, they gave up Kylo. They give up Kylo Ren as, spoiler alert, Han Solo's kid. Okay.
But you knew he was going to be related to someone.
You knew he was either going to be
they were like
Luke's kid
they
or
were
Han and
probably
Leia's kid.
thinking like they're probably going to guess it's Luke's kid, so we're going to switch it up on them and it'd be Han's kid. Big surprise.
Yeah, Luke was a geek, couldn't get laid. If he tried, it
even though the girl is probably his kid.
Yeah, I would go with the girl is probably his kid. Now, who is
the mom?
No,
Princess Leia.
Incestuous.
Now that I would like. I would see that movie
That
twice.
would be a twist.
I would see that movie twice.
Okay, who is the stormtrooper? What the fuck was his character's name?
Finn.
Finn.
FN.
FN.
121828.
So I'll call you Finn.
Cool.
He seems to have some sort of ability. Maybe he's not force sensitive. Maybe he is. We don't see anything. But he picks up a lightsaber and he wields this fucker like he knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean anything.
No. I think they kind of...
They're indicating.
They imply in the other movies that only Jedis can play around with a lightsaber. I think in this new one, they're just saying anyone can turn it on, but not anyone can use it properly. He's able to fight with it like a sword. He's got no training.
He's pretty decent with it. I mean, he gets his ass kicked a little bit, but I mean, he goes after Kylo Ren with it.
And another thing, that fucking stormtrooper that he fucking fights with.
The one with the
stun baton?
I thought that was cool.
No, it was a cool, fun little scene, but how come that stopped the lightsaber from going
That's
right
what I
through
wanted
that
to know.
fucking thing?
The lightsaber should have cut that fucking thing in half.
Right in half.
Although, in the prequels, and maybe I'm also thinking of some of the animated series,
Clone
Wars, I remember there being some lightsaber battles with those big staffs that some of the
Jawas have?
No. They're it's like a power staff, and I think this might be in the animated series. But there was some lightsaber battles with those that somebody in the Empire carries.
Well, look here. Do you know who also has fucking lightsabers? It's not a Jedi or fucking Darkseid. General Grievous. He's killed Jedis and took their lightsabers. He's got 4 of them. Then he fucking spins around on his arms.
Yeah. So yeah, we know you don't have to be a Jedi to turn it on and to use it.
Right. It's not touch sensitive.
No.
You gotta put in your 4-letter code like a cell phone.
You know, and Luke before he's
right. I've got all these swords, but I don't know how to use them. If someone came at me.
Sure. You know, but they do kind of indicate that Finn has some sort of natural ability.
I don't think so.
Maybe it comes with his stormtrooper
so.
training that he got some kind of like Kali stick training. You know how they do that with the whatever the fuck it's called.
The kendo stick.
Kendo, that's it.
Fucking Singapore cane.
Yeah, so maybe they do some of that kind of stuff because I know, like in the army they do like pugil sticks, which is like bow staff training. But they don't carry bow staffs in the army.
No, they
so
don't.
maybe
it's about agility and endurance.
Maybe they get some sort of training that relates, and he could use that. So maybe Finn is irrelevant. Maybe Finn is just a new sidekick. Maybe he's a new sidekick.
You know, what I did love about the character Finn, which was probably the only thing that I liked in that movie, was he was not trying to be a hero. He's trying to run that entire movie.
He was trying to push out the
like
whole
even movie. He even tried to be good a couple times. Eventually, it came back to him, but for the most part, he just did not want to be anywhere near anything. He wanted to get out of there, and that's the only thing I liked.
Han Solo. Not always the same, but similar. Han Solo didn't really want anything to do with the mission. He's like, fucking good luck, kid. He's like, see you later. At the end of the second movie, he's like, fucking see you later. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but see, that's the
comes
thing.
back.
But he was being selfish and greedy. Finn was afraid.
True. So there's a big difference.
You don't see vulnerable heroes in movies. He was afraid that entire time.
Yeah.
He was afraid of everything. He didn't get it.
He was like, afraid that the First Order. It was like everything was about. Fuck this! We need to get out of here. The First Order's going to kill us.
Right, and one of those points in that article I read was like, oh, what? Suddenly, this is the first time. He decides to fucking act out.
Yeah.
This hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, that all these things happen at the same time. I don't know.
I will say one funny thing that doesn't really have to do with the movie. My wife's not super into Star Wars.
Oh my gosh, she loved the movie.
No.
Okay.
She was actually very upset that Yoda was not in it. Okay. In her defense, I did not make her watch the original trilogy before we watched the new one.
Oh my god, he fucking dies in Jedi.
I know.
But he could have came back as a ghost.
I kind of almost halfway expected some sort of apparitional appearance of some of the older.
She's like, where's that fucking green dude? Where's that fucking gremlin at?
I don't get it.
I don't
get it.
Credits roll. I did not see Yoda in that movie. Where was Yoda in that movie?
It's not the droids you're looking for.
This is not the movie you thought it was.
This is not the sequel you're looking for.
Oh my god. Why can't they make a proper sequel? And you know what? Fucking George Lucas had nothing to do with his own sequels.
He got boned. He got side.
He did not direct Empire or Return. He didn't write Empire. And he helped the same guy that wrote Empire on Jedi.
Well, I think that the guy that wrote this one needed some more fucking help.
And he was the same guy that
he didn't have a single fucking original idea.
Empire and Jedi. It's like, you know what? I didn't get a shot at that first Star Wars. This is my shot to do that one that fucking Lucas did, that he cut me out of.
I would be interested to, if it were possible, to sit down over some Cthulhu cocktails with George Lucas and say,
he said he had ideas of
Georgie boy, what is your sequel to Empire?
What's your number 7?
What's your number 7 look like? Because I would guarantee you it's a way different film and way more exposition of a new story. And some shit that makes fucking sense, okay? Instead of just making the first movie back over again.
Like,
I was a little disappointed. Like, everything...
Star Wars could stand alone.
Absolutely.
But he did another movie, Empire. Made a trilogy.
Absolutely.
This movie does not stand on its own. They set up a lot of things that we have to wait for the next movie to watch to find out.
Yes, and maybe that's the new fucking Hollywood model, but I don't like it.
No.
But I have heard, I'll say it again, that I have read that the next movie, Episode 8, will not be written and directed by the same guy. By the same guys. By the same
It'll
team.
be its own thing.
It will be made by another crew.
Wouldn't it be amazing if they like
and
basically
it's
just
what I have heard
cut
from
everything out?
It's supposed to be out of left field. You're not expecting what's coming. So I really hope they do a better job. Like, okay, the first Hunger Games was an absolute fucking shit movie. Horrible fucking film, in my opinion. I read all the books. The books, it's young adult reading.
It is.
It's kid stuff. It kind of reads like you're writing.
Hey-o.
It's written for young people.
I don't write my stuff for young people. I say fuck a lot.
Yeah, I know, but
look, Hunger
That'd be
Games
the
was
only
basically
difference.
a retread of the Lord of the Flies in the future.
Sure.
Which was also the Running Man, which was also Battle Royale.
Sure.
Bunch of kids on an island killing each other. Real original.
Sure, but how many original ideas are there out there?
There aren't anymore. I think
Exactly.
they said that there's a certain formula, there's only a certain many of them, and they're all basically every movie now. Everything that can be written has been written. So you've got a skeleton, you've just got to mold the meat on there.
I like molding meat.
The hell is You're like,
That's a lawnmower.
It's a lawnmower.
It's a lawnmower, man. Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it. Oh my god.
Okay. So, I'm going to leave it at that. But I think episode 8 could be much better than we expect it to be because they're cutting these fucking jackasses out of it. And I'll say that on the internet. Fucking jackasses.
Said that fucking... now, with that one... With Star Wars being the least of my favorite movies last year.
Also, I was the most excited for that movie, which is...
See, I wasn't.
Between that...
They didn't show anything in that trailer that made me think, oh, this is going to be good. Everything I saw in that movie looked like it was going to be exactly the movie it turned out to be. Another Star Wars movie that I could care less about. Like, they showed me a black dude in a stormtrooper suit, which I didn't really understand. And I'm not in a racist kind of way.
But we know from previous events that stormtroopers are clones.
Now, they killed out all those clones and they started making new babies, but it seemed like...
Okay, well, the stormtrooper theory is they're clones made on the planet of... starts with a C.
It does start with a C.
Camino. By these super awesome cloning fucking alien-looking dudes. And they are based on a...
Jango.
Well, they're based on Jango Fett. But later...
Who may or may not be the first clone.
Well, and what... Later in the animated series, when they're extending that universe out between movies, they talked about finding a new base for the Stormtrooper design because they can only clone out these things so far before they start to get great. Okay. Before they start getting like as good as they used to be.
Of a copy of a copy.
So I mean, they have the original DNA sequence. Yes, they're continuing on, but they can only go so far until this sequence becomes, unusable. So they're talking about in the animated series that they're going to look for a new host to start with, another,
set of
great battle leader, somebody who's going to be this great military fighter. And they base all of these physical attributes of the original cloned on, what they want for a finished project. So, even if it's a black guy, we're thinking, okay, so they switch the program. But then we find out that they're conscripting these kids into service, and they're like brainwashing them and shit.
And he seems small for a stormtrooper.
He does seem awful short for a stormtrooper.
And I'm not trying to reference a line from the movie. That helmet didn't fit on him. It was like way low. He had no neck.
True.
Fucking
he didn't look
Star
like
Wars movie sucks, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it.
Anyways, what movie I was happy with was The Hateful Eight.
I intend to see that, so don't worry.
I loved it.
I intend to see it.
I loved it. It was a nice mouth washing of fucking Star Wars.
2015.
Of Star Wars. I saw Star Wars the next day. I saw Hateful Eight, and I saw it again the day after that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Excellent. Has the new Leonardo DiCaprio flick come out yet?
In a week. Next week. The Revenant.
The Revenant. I'm excited for that one. Although I do believe that the fucking trailers, once again, you Hollywood fucksticks, giving up too much information in the trailers. Knock it off. You're fucking it up for everybody.
Well, look, I mean...
Too much information in the trailer.
It's based on a true story.
I don't care.
A bunch of mountain men, a bunch of trappers.
I get it.
They leave one for dead. He gets attacked by a bear.
Yep.
And then he goes back after the dudes.
Yep. And I won't say what I saw in the trailer that fucking makes me pissed.
No, tell me.
They show that they kill his fucking son, and that's part of the reason why he fucking continually goes after these fuckers to kill them back. Watch the trailers.
Really?
Watch the trailers.
I will watch the trailers later.
And I have a son of my own. He's 4 years old. It's his birthday yesterday on New Year's Eve, and it makes me irate. And it really attacks me inside when I see like fathers in movies and their sons are taken or they're killed or whatever. It's something you can't explain. Anybody who's a dad knows what I'm talking about. I say we leave it at that, and we attack. We're gonna attack 2016 this year. New steps, new features, and we're gonna do some more movies.
Are you speaking for me now?
I'm speaking for me.
All right.
You let me co-host this bitch. I'm gonna help you out.
All right, let's do this. We'll see you next week, guys. Take it easy. I'm Matt Bonta.
Corey Easley.
We're out.
Is this thing still on?
Oh shit, we're out.